Walmart hates us. If you've read on TikTok or anything on the news or anything in popular media, you'll hear about how horrible men shoppers are. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have women shoppers that are just shopping too good, so the customers have no idea what to expect. Walmart hates that. They like consistency. But oftentimes, the shopper isn't even the problem at all. Sometimes it's the manufacturer making the product smaller for the same price and also changing the SKU number, and I get blamed for not being able to find it. Sometimes it's customers in the store moving things around. Sometimes the item is technically in stock, but it's in the customer's cart, and occasionally it's just good old-fashioned shoplifting and not gonna be there anytime soon. Now, as I've demonstrated here, there's more than one problem with Walmart's inventory systems just from the shelf to a cart, but the Walmart Spark shoppers and delivery drivers are usually the ones getting the brunt of the blame, especially if they're a male shopper like me. So what's Walmart's big idea to solve all these problems? Well, let me introduce you to Alphabot. Walmart's Alphabot is basically going to turn all of the OGP workers and those Spark drivers into a little pack of betas. So Alphabot is basically an automated all-in-one system that takes the human element out of shopping and subsequently most of the mistakes out of the shopping and inventory processes. Now, I say most because they still want humans to like pick fruit and go cut the deli meat and put all the items together. But outside of that, the system stores the groceries before it puts the order together as well as after the order is put together. It's temperature controlled, etc. It's basically a bunch of bins arranged into a storage system connected by a bunch of tracks and pathways, and it has these little grocery looking Roomba bots that are zooming around these pathways, traversing through this storage system, getting the groceries from point A to point B, and basically bringing everything that people are ordering to a person that just stands still and puts everything together. And then there's a light system that says, pick this item, put it with this order. After the employee bags it up, it gets transported to these pickup bays where the customers go and scan a QR or something, and it opens the bay. They take it out of there, they put it in their car, and they go away. Now, stay tuned for later on in the video if you want to know more about what Spark drivers' jobs will look like in this new future as well. Now, before I get to the next part, if you're getting value from this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Now, some of you may have heard about the Walmart 30 minutes or less pilot that's going on in Walmart Canada. Some of you may have heard about the drones with Walmart, but what I think is that people don't realize how, along with this Alphabot as the backbone, how this thing is a complete game changer in the big picture and may tip the scales in Walmart's favor in its competition against Amazon to become the world's largest retailer. Walmart being able to offer 30 minutes or less delivery nationwide would give it a significant advantage over Amazon one-day shipping. Now, if you also consider the fact that over 90% of Americans live within 10 miles or less of a Walmart, then it's pretty specific what Walmart's endgame is. So this endgame is called Walmart Now. Walmart Now will also be targeting some smaller orders with a $10 minimum versus $25 on Amazon Prime. And also somewhat related to this small order strategy is the fact that the Walmart drones only deliver orders up to 10 pounds. Additionally, they only deliver to within 1 mile of the Walmart, which is how it's allowed to be done 30 minutes or less. But I digress. Let's get back to talking about the Alphabot and what they're going to be doing to us Spark drivers. So here's a couple of numbers that show what Alphabot can do. 95% of orders go from ordered to ready for pickup in 12 minutes or less. That's obviously the backbone of 30 minutes or less. If they can have that order prepared in 5 to 15 minutes and then delivered within the next 15 minutes, boom, that's how you got your 30 minutes or less. Over 99% inventory accuracy. Remember all the issues that I mentioned earlier about items being in stock but not technically being in stock? Well, this is how they handle this, because since this whole system is also the storage and the retrieval system, it doesn't have to worry about outside customers getting in there, shoplifting, moving things around. It's either in a storage bin or it's in an order being picked or an order being picked up. It's one of 3 places. I mean, I'd have to assume it has some really smart inventory control and ordering system as well. And ultimately, the system, it averages between 8 to 10 times faster than manual picking. This is how they plan to increase the number of orders they dispense within an hour, within a day. Of course, in real life, this doesn't account for people being late to pick up, no show, not knowing how to use technology. But ultimately, this is where the additional possibilities come into play and thus drivers come back into the equation. So if you're a Spark driver, the future is basically more curbside pickup orders, but there's actually some pros and cons to this. So I don't think it's just, cut and dry as some may think at first glance. So first, let's go over the cons. Obviously, no more shop and deliver. That's what this video is about. It's going to be going away, or at least be severely reduced, because it's either going to be the machine doing the order, or likely the Walmart employee, not us Spark drivers. We're going to be third on that chain. Of course, with no more shop and delivers typically have higher base pay. Walmart's already been reducing base pay on orders, so the average base pay overall is going to go down again, just because those shop and delivers with higher base pay are not going to be thrown into the mix anymore. And you kind of assume that there's going to be more orders. And so with more orders, of course, more no-tip orders. But on the other side of the coin, more pros potentially could be that there are more tipping orders as well. Additionally, with there being more orders, maybe more doubles, maybe more back-to-back orders, being able to complete orders faster, potentially being able to complete more orders per hour. I mean, if you're just going to be going to the bay, scanning a code, loading your car, you can control how fast you can get that order completed by going and loading your car faster. If you're somebody like Gary Middleton, my Rideshare Rodeo co-host, the founder of Gary's Apps, he doesn't like people touching his car. So people like him, you'll be able to load your car and don't have to worry about anybody touching your car. But technically there's potential for some upside. If you have a good market and you get a lot of good tips and you can get more orders, there's definitely upside for you. That being said, I don't know how soon Alphabot will take over. If it'll be just 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now. But what I do know is that once 30 minutes or less starts catching on and people get used to 30 minutes or less, people aren't going to want to go back to 1 day. That's just not how people work. And of course, 30 minutes or less won't be everywhere, but with 90% of Americans living within 10 miles or less of a Walmart, is 1 hour or less to 90% of America possible with this? Let me know what your thoughts about that are in the comments below. Now, finally, I want to make this clear that I'm not saying that this is the end of gig work, but I am saying that you should have an exit plan. You should have a plan B in mind. You should have something in the back of your mind, a lever that you can pull in case your gig work earnings continue to be impacted, as in my opinion, the sustainability of full-time gig work is being attacked on a daily basis. In my opinion, it's never been a better time to be a part-time gig worker. Most Americans can use an extra $500 a week. It's my weekly gig work goal, and oftentimes I actually exceed it. And I'm not gonna lie, just like many Americans, there's a lot of things I hate about my W-2 job, but on the other side of the coin, I work from home. It gives me quarterly bonuses, annual raises, evening and weekend differentials, 401k matches, and the opportunities for promotions and further raises, which obviously you're not going to get doing gig work. It's been a little over a year since I quit full-time gig work and went back to working a W-2 job. So if you'd like me to make an update video on how my work from home job is going, if I would recommend it, how you can find a work from home job for yourself, let me know if you're interested in any of that stuff in the comment section down below. And if you want to know why I originally quit full-time gig work, got a W-2 job, went part-time, and why you may want to consider that as well, then watch this video now.